You know, the other night I said, on the other video, I said, looking at those valves, and it made me, for daydreaming, I thought about my vehicles. Well, I've written them all down, hence the title of this video. Right. So what I'm going to do is just give you a fairly brief summary. I was going to put some photos up, but I do have my cars and bikes video, which you can look back for, right, to see them. So anyway, my Triumph Tiger Cub. I bought this, and although I had it about 8 months, I only rode it regularly when I started work, which was a 12-mile trip from Ulsby to Horncastle. That's Ulsby near Alford to Horncastle, if you want to look it up. Anyway, I think that lasted me about a month. And then, on HP, which you'd like credit, I bought a good aerial leader. Well, I had that bike for a while, and I think it was a year later, I'm not sure, but I broke the engine because a big end went coming home. So I dumped the bike and walked home, and well, Dad came to find me early in the morning, and I bought a second-hand engine and put in that one. Well then, unfortunately, I've never crashed a car, but I did crash that bike, but because it was on credit, I got more money back, and I kept the bike with the engine in, and I bought another one with a problem. Well, I had that a while, I can't remember how long, but my second one was, I had it a long while actually, that bike. And anyway, I was at an agriculture engineering college at Tame, near Oxford. And I was going to Oxford one night, and I was only doing 60 on it, and bang! Suddenly the back wheel locked up, and I pulled the clutch in, went to the side of the road, and the engine was in half. Literally, they were, well, you can look them up if you want. Look up aerial leaders and you'll see how they were. They were a very different engine. No, anyway, the conrod snapped in half and it took half the engine off, right? But here's the story, the good story. We had lessons until 12 o'clock on a Saturday. And I rode it home on one cylinder, 140 miles to Ulsby. Sunday morning I changed the engine with the spare engine that I'd still got in me from my crash one, and drove it back to college again. So that's quite a good story, isn't it? Now my first car, the DKW, and you can go and look at this was a bit of a dog, to be honest. It wasn't a very good car at all. Not been done very well. Well, I was going to go to college in it, and it had an electric fan on because the radiator was in the boot, but I forgot to turn it on, boiled it. And it kept boiling, and I didn't know why. So, as I say, I went to work in it, but that one lasted me about a month, right? Then I got my Mini at Christmas. Now, in between time, by the way, my second aerial leader with the second-hand engine in, I kept dragging out in between these cars, right? This is what you need to know. So I'm just going down the list of my cars, not, in any particular order. They are in order as such as what I got. Anyway, I got my Mini, and I went to college, and it was off a blooming valve, off a cylinder. So we got some tools and took the head off and all the rest of it, and I bought a new valve and put in, and it had a cracked valve insert in it. So I knew very well it wouldn't last long. Well, we went rallying round on a treasure hunt, and I drove it back from college, and 6 weeks later it went bang, and I knew it would. And so we got another engine in, and that one lasted me about a year before the timing chain went. So I actually broke 2 engines in my Mini. Then I had a Mark 1 Austin Healey Sprite, Frog Eye Sprite. Now on that one, I had it just for one summer, and it's the only classic car as such. Even though it was years ago, it was then classic. I had to pay money for it. And I broke a ring on the piston. And so I broke that engine. 400E, my first one, I'm not sure, I can't be sure, but my first one was a good one, and I didn't break the engine in that one. It's one of my very few cars I didn't break the engine in. We had a lot of fun in that. That was my black one, I'm fairly sure. Then came a 98cc Villiers engined Bown, B-O-W-N, right? And I had that bike, and I rode that on the road for 6 weeks, and then I rode round the field at the back for about 3 years. And in the end, it wouldn't run because the crank seals had gone. So you can say that I broke the engine on that one, even though it took a while. Then there was another 100E. And as I say, I can't remember this 400E, if this is the one that I bought and I broke the engine in a week and had to buy another spare engine and change. One of the two I did, but I think it was the second one. Then I got a Morris Oxford with a plumbing on 3 cylinders from a friend over the road, and I rode it for 3 weeks, and I took the head off and did it at Carl's, I mentioned many times, where I ended up working for. And on the Saturday and on the Wednesday I did the big end in it. So that was another one gone. My Austin 1100 was next, and that one was well, I took the engine out, I broke the gearbox actually, it wasn't very good, and I put my good engine in, what I'd done, because what we did, we overboard 1100 engines and fitted Hillman imp pistons and shaved 100 thou off the block, because Mini Cooper engines were expensive and this tuned them up, right? So we put a 997 Cooper cam in, which didn't cost very much money compared to a Piper cam, and bored them out, and it was a very good engine. Anyway, that lasted in that car, but I put it in another Mini I had later on, and it only lasted 6 weeks before I broke the crank, so I actually broke that engine. Morris 1000 I had. No, I didn't break that engine. That lasted, but the car was pretty rotten. Another Mini, I've told you, had the Austin 1100 engine in, but I broke the crank after 6 weeks. Mark II Cortina, it had a tired engine in, so I bought another one with a good engine and changed it for that one. And that's the one that I pulled me Formula 2 stock car around with. So that would be 1978, right? My Singer Vogue, I broke the engine in that, did a big end on that. Mark 1 Escort, another Mark 1 Escort. Oh dear, I can't remember. Anyway, I'm pretty sure I broke the engine in it very quickly. 100 Kawasaki, I didn't break the engine in. How about that? That lasted me. The 250 MZ, I wore that engine out, so we had to put another one in that. Another Mark 1 Escort, right? And I can't remember the order, and I just can't remember, right? But like I said, one of them, I did the engine in 3 days, because I bought one, I think it was the first one actually, and I went to Skeg stock cars, and coming back, the radiator was, the header tank had gone. Anyway, coming back, halfway back, a piston let go. So that was that one. My other Escorts, I had my good Escort for 8 years. This is why I've not had that many cars. And my good one, as I said, that engine lasted me 6 years. My good engine that I got with it. You know, it lasted 6 years, so that was a long time for me, of thrashing, absolute thrash. So that was okay. GLT Volvo, that came from my father, I inherited that. I couldn't afford much petrol at the time, so I didn't use it much, so that one survived. I've had 2 other Mark 1 Escorts. I've written everything down, and I cannot remember what happened to them. I know I gave one away, right, but I think, I'm not sure. I can't remember. Simple as that. Can't remember. I've written them all down in order, but I just can't remember. And one was my good engine, which lasted me 6 years. That was the best one. The others didn't last me very long at all. And then my Renault Extra van, well, it was very, very worn, right? Very worn. And I managed to keep it going by driving economically, right? But it was very worn, so I didn't blow that engine up. But the Clio, of course, you've seen the valves, I bust the cam belt. That was my right foot again. So I've even broken the engine in my Clio, but that's about 15 years ago, and we've been okay since. Anyway, hope you've enjoyed the tale, and you'll forgive me for having a bit of a lead right foot. See you all soon.